Hello and welcome. I am Cindershadow, and today we're going to look at the counterclaim suit Wizards of the Coast has filed versus TSR. Well, this is one of the stories I've been following since the start of it. I thought TSR was on the up and up. I thought they were doing everything legitimately, and it seems that Wizards of the Coast has said, no, they're not. They even accused them, Justin LaNasa, the CEO of TSR LLC, with fraud. Why did they accuse him of fraud? Well, he turned around and copyrighted or trademarked in the trademark office one of the logos that Wizards of the Coast owns. Now, there is contention, and it's seeming like it's going to be in front of the courts for quite a while. You know, these things move at a snail's pace. We're in March, and Wizards of the Coast is just filing the counterclaim on all of this action. Now, my understanding what's happened here is Justin turned around and pretty much traced out the original logo as a tattoo artist, trying to claim it for himself. Wizards of the Coast is now filing with the countersuit the books and the details of where this logo is being used and sold, even though they let the trademark lapse because they own the copyright to it with the bill of sale that they've actually included in the counterclaim under Exhibit A. So this is one of those situations where Wizards of the Coast has all the documentation to back themselves up, and Justin LaNasa's seems to have none. I also covered this a while ago where the original artist of the said logo, the original artist, said that they have no place being and that they were treated very poorly by TSR. So today, we're just going to look at the court documents and go through this as quick as I possibly can, because these things can be drawn out completely. Well, here we go. This is the counterclaim. You can see it here as a counterclaim to TSR LLC and Justin LaNasa and the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum LLC, which is located in the Lake Geneva shop. This is the main headquarters for TSR. This was the birthplace of where Gary Gygax made the company and where the company was risen from, and is one of the attractions in the area, which I'm guessing is not doing very well with the world pandemic coming to an end. There is an Indiegogo, I should say, with Justin LaNasa that has raised about $7,000 at this point, and I have a feeling it's not going to raise much more because everyone has jumped ship on this one. Everyone's sitting there going, I don't see this as a good thing. I don't see TSR going to come out to this. So one of the main things that have come out of this is they're going to a jury. Defendant's answer to plaintiff's complaint for the declaratory judgment and counterclaim. So this is not them saying that fraud has taken place. This is just, looks like it's going to go into the court. A jury will decide who owns the actual rights to TSR. And from everything I'm reading and seeing, it's a clear-cut case that Wizards of the Coast has the bill of sale. Like, what more do you want? They have the bill of sale. They go through step by step of the original lawsuit in this, saying admits to it, doesn't admit to it, step by step in that circumstance. So the parties, we don't need to get into that. Jurisdiction of the venue, we're seeing that. The facts, Wizards restates its answers to paragraphs above as if fully set forth herein, admits that TSR LLC has filed claims pursuant, and then Wizards denies the remaining allegations in the paragraph of the original. They go through a lot of it. Mainly, there's a lot of here. Wizards admit that it filed a cancellation proceeding to number 920-78589. This is the one that the trademark office actually gave to TSR, saying they own the trademark on this. It went through the entire thing, and this is the basis where Wizards of the Coast actually filed for saying it's fraudulent. They actually own the trademark of it, or the copyright of that, and Wizards of the Coast is the one that's claiming that Justin LaNasa is committing fraud here. This doesn't go in front of the court of law saying it is fraud. This is just in front of the trademark office saying that they need to cancel it because this has been made in fraudulent terms. And then what would happen is the state would then go after Justin LaNasa for the fraud charges, and Wizards of the Coast would have nothing to do with that. So there's so many different steps, and this is a big legal case when it comes to trademark, copyright, and everything like that. Ultimately, from what I'm seeing, is Wizards of the Coast has all the cards at the table, and Justin LaNasa hasn't played anything that's going to give him an up and up. Wizards, amidst the TSR complaint, seeks a declaration that Wizards does not own the copyrights, trademarks to the marks, and that Wizards has taken the position that TSR LLC behavior constitutes trademark and copyright infringement. So this is where Wizards of the Coast is saying, no, we own this. You are falsifying that you guys own this. Wizards lack knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief as the truth or falsify of the remaining allegations of this paragraph. There was a whole list of the paragraph with other trademarks and stuff like that. Upon information and belief, Wizards admit that Justin LaNasa prepared to have assigned applications to TSR LLC to register numbers of trademarks with the USPTO, which is the Trademark Patent Office. TSR has filed following U.S. trademark applications on or about August 19th of 2020 for this one, the lizard image trademark. The game Wizards logo is the big one here. Upon information and belief, Wizards admits the TSR filed to the trademark office, registered the Star Frontiers, which is something that Wizards of the Coast was in the process of making a new version of that campaign. And it seems that Justin LaNasa rushed to trademark it underneath their noses. So it's kind of, there's a lot going on here, because this type of thing is just going to be really, it's there, all of it's there. Wizards reinstates that the answers to the paragraphs fully above, reinstating. Okay, so Wizards admits that it has claimed ownership of the lizard image, the Game Wizards logo, the TSR word mark, and the Star Frontiers marks, and has accused TSR LLC upon infringing upon its trademark rights with these marks, among others. Wizards denies the remaining allegations in the paragraph. That's probably the biggest one here, because they're labeling each piece that Justin LaNasa, from the sounds of it, is fraudulently claiming through trademark infringement. And that's the biggest part of this, is the trademark infringement. Wizards of the Coast is like, we own this, lock, stock, and barrel. How can you insist that you own this, Justin? That's what it comes down to. Wizards reinstates answers, yada, 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 affirmative and defense. First defense, failure to stake claim. TSR LLC complaint fails in the whole part to state the claim upon which relief can be granted. Second defense, prior use. Wizards uses use of the marks and copyright words predates any use of TSR LLC, and Wizards' right are superior to any of TSR LLC claim rights in the TSR word mark, the Game Wizards logo, and the Star Frontier marks. Third defense, lack of trademark copyright rights and copyright. Plaintiff does not allege that it has, and a plaintiff does not have trademark or copyrights in any portion of the TSR mark, the lizard image, the Game Wizards logo, and or the Star Frontier marks. Fourth defense, non-infringement. Wizards has not willfully or otherwise infringed on any trademark rights or copyrights that TSR LLC may have. That's probably one of the biggest statements here, because everything that Wizards of the Coast has was all before that. So how are they infringing on the rights that TSR is trying to claim here? TSR LLC claims for relief. This is the fifth defense, waiver. Relief are barred or limited to the doctrine of waiver for failing to properly assess the alleged rights, failing to properly assess the alleged rights in timely fashion, or for conduct relinquishing its alleged rights. I believe what this is saying that they don't have rights to claim costs to all of this. I think that's what that is. Sixth defense, estoppel. TSR claims for relief are barred and limited by the doctrine of estoppel. Obviously, all of this has to be put in front of the jury. TSR claims for relief, the 7 unclean hands, claims for relief are barred or limited. So what these last 3 here is Wizards of the Coast is saying, no, we want to bar you from gaining relief for all of these 3 statements. Counterclaim. Defendant and counterclaim plaintiff, Wizards of the Coast hereby alleges upon personal information as itself and upon information and beliefs as to have all other allegations as follow. Nature of action. This is a civil action for false designation of origin in violation of LATAM Act. Number 2, cyber squatting in violation of the LATAM Act. I believe what that one is if you go into the Dungeon Hobbies the website, they are using these logos on the website and claiming that they own them, and that HASBRO and Wizards of the Coast does not own them. They actually have that disclaimer at the bottom of it. Number 3, trademark infringement in violation of common law of Washington and other states for unfair competition in violation of North Carolina Deceptive Trade Practices Act. And 5, violation of the Washington's Consumer Protection Act. The parties, Wizards in Delaware, venue. This court has federal questions subject to where it's going to be, because it's North Carolina versus Seattle and Washington. Background, here's the three of the logos among several TSR Inc. Place products here. History, including Dungeons and Dragons from the Star Frontier products, are the following marks. Yeah. Wizards' 1997 acquisition of TSR and its intellectual property, that's probably a big one there. Wizards also owns the trade dress and designs used on goods that sell in connection with the above trademarks. Like you get down here, and here it is. In addition, on or about May 30th, 1997, TSR Inc. formally assigned to all its U.S. trademark reservations to Wizards, and that a sign was recorded with the U.S. PTO on December 6, 2000. The trademarks that Wizards acquired from TSR Inc., including trade dress rights and collective, are referred as Wizard marks. Although some of the resignations of the Wizard marks were not renewed, Wizards continued using the marks in commerce. Wizard sales of D&D products bearing Wizards marks, which they did. I believe it's THRU RPG. They sell the digital copies, and I think you can even still get paper copies of them. So one of them, in addition to producing new and updating D&D products, Wizards has maintained continuous use of Wizards mark by producing, advertising, and selling older editions of D&D through One Bookshelf on its THRU RPG and DM Guild's websites since at least as early as 2013. Wizards also licensed its TSR and D&D products IP to One Bookshelf to sell fan-created content using this IP. The product listings for Wizard D&D products on THRU RPG and DM Guild prominently identifies Wizards as the publisher. Below are the screenshots of 4 of these products. So this one in particular, this is like rule set number 1, basic rules. TSR D&D, you've got the TSR, the Game Wizards logo that's in contention here. Here is another one, D&D Monsters and Treasury Assortment, one of the Wizards logos. The Temple of Elemental Evil, great. I've played through this one a lot. TSR logo, this main one here, it's there. Advanced D&D Engine, D&D Monsters Arcana, the Illithid. You've got the TSR Dragon logo on it. Star Frontiers Alphadon with the TSR logo on it. So this is another one that they're showing that it's being sold on the website and has been sold for a very long time. Counterclaim defendants claim reboot of TSR and Star Frontiers. On information belief, counterclaim defendant LaNasa organized and registered counterclaim defendants TSR LLC with the Wisconsin Secretary of State office on or about the 23rd, 2020. LaNasa is the organizer, sole manager, and registered agent of TSR LLC of North Carolina. Counterclaim, yeah, pretty much this is where LaNasa was claiming on a bunch of things. I believe this would have been in the patent office, because this is talking about in 2020, which I believe is when he started registering all these things. The landing page at TSR Hobbies identifies LaNasa as CEO, sorry. The same landing page prominently displays the Game Wizards logo, the same logo that appears on many classic D&D products, which are still offered for sale by Wizards. So TSR, the Game Wizards. Now, if you go up here between the two, right, you have TSR, the Game Wizards, right? That's the original logo. And then if we scroll back down here, you see that, ultimately, I don't really see anything there. Now, one thing that's come out of this sounds like it was copied off a piece of paper. And my only guess is, as a tattoo artist, thinking you can just trace these out and rename it as your own. And that's not how this works. I've heard this argument so many times with people that believe that the art can be just traced or remade and copied, and that's where all of these legal troubles really comes down into play, where the courts are going to look and go, no, you've just copied it off a sheet of paper. You've copied it completely how it is. Maybe you redrew it in your hand, but you didn't really change anything, or it's so similar that you can't differentiate between the two. So that's where this has come down. LaNasa is a tattoo artist. He knows what he's trying to pull here, and you talk to any actual reputable tattoo artist, and they're going to tell you, no, we can't do that. Will a tattoo artist just put on someone's logo on your body? Yes, because ultimately it's not worth the litigation to go through a lawsuit like this. But because TSR pushed the hand of Wizards, Wizards is now going to slap them right back down and say, listen, you can't do this. What you're trying to do here is falsifying our logo that we own lock, stock, and barrel. Counterclaim defendants have publicly offered for sale licenses to use Wizard marks as early as 2020. So I believe, the Dungeons Hobby Shop located in Lake Geneva is offering to license a section of the classic TSR logos via a claim of state trademark of TSR. So this is right on the Dungeon Hobby site. I believe in my previous video, I actually laid this out and went, you're using the logo right here. You're saying that you can license it out, and Wizards of the Coast is just now going to use that and say, listen, you can't do that. This is stuff we own. You cannot do that. This is ours. Oh my God. On information belief, about December 10th, counterclaim defendant and LaNasa, registered counterclaim defendant, Dungeon Hobby Shop, has a business with Wisconsin Secretary of State. He has publicly stated that he runs the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum and has described it at least one public interview, which was a paper document. For Lake Geneva, there was a local story that was run saying that he is the owner of this place. He is the CEO, so they back that up also. This is what happens when a lot of these little news stories come up. So there's a lot. Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum LLC has a website located at tsrmuseum.com, a domain name that infringes Wizard marks on the information and belief counterclaim defendants. So pretty much what has happened here is Wizards of the Coast has now taken their website apart, saying, you're selling that, We own that trademark. We own that trademark. We own that trademark. This is a shirt that they're selling. And once again, this is, I believe, that retraced version of it, and they've put it on a shirt. We have TSR dice. I don't think they'll get awarded with this one because this is a very generic font on there. But if you look at the next one, you can see it's got the TSR Game Wizards logo on it again. Dungeon Hobby Shop, home the original Dungeons and Dragons sticker. So I don't understand that sticker. You have a recast of the Star Frontiers new Genesis role-playing game rebooted with the TSR logo on it as well. So that's another thing that they're saying is going to be infringing. TSR website, TSR hobbies include prominent order here button that links directly to the online store. It also includes images, description, and prices that match several individual items offered for sale. LaNasa's and TSR own, operate, maintain a website to fundraise for their legal challenges against them. The website, this is the Indiegogo. They're listing the Indiegogo in here now. Last visited March 4th, 2022. The website prominently displays Wizards marks, including the Game Wizards logo. TSR LLC promises that those who donate will receive products memberships from the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum. Counterclaim defendants frequently promote their infringing products bearing Wizards marks via their website, social media accounts, online forums, and the written interviews, video interviews, including influential figures in the gaming community. Wow. So influential figures in the gaming community, I would take a guess that would be Clownfish TV, because they have been following along with this. But I know he's kind of taken a step back. I know Neon has taken a step back a little bit with this, because I think there's a lot of missteps that happen. When I first thought this was going through, I thought there was a legitimate thing. I thought TSR was going to come forward with a legitimate claim, and once I started digging into it, and looking at the trademark patent office, and I went, oh, this is not legitimately, this is setting himself up to be countersued and everything through and through. This is, yeah, when I saw this, I kind of went, nope, my hands are back. On top of all of this, if you guys don't know, the guy that was their PR agent for TSR is gone. He stepped away. He moved away, and I don't know if he quit or they let him go or what happened here, but about a month ago, he turned around and just announced, I'm gone. So I think he maybe saw the writing on the wall himself, if he was smart, and would have just went, no, I want nothing to do with this, after seeing how things were coming down. I don't know if he did. I don't know the whole details of that. But you know what? Good luck to him. I know he has some military experience, so he'll probably find another job being a much better person and better off ultimately. The Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum website is replete with statements and images designed to cause confusion in the marketplace and to persuade viewers that TSR LLC is the successor in interest to TSR Inc. when it's not. There has been lots of confusion with this because TSR has had many different people step up, and then it splits, and then it splits, and then it splits. You got Giantlands, Wonderfield, and Solarian Games. You've got a whole list of other people around the situation that have all seemingly have walked away at one time or another. On the about us section of the website, the text about us is followed immediately by the header TSR in the beginning and a description of the prior origins of the prior TSR Inc. This statement, placed online by counterclaim defendants TSR LLC, LaNasa's, and the Dungeon Hobby Shop, is intentionally aimed to cause confusion in, oh man, they have picked apart their website. Wow, the website contains TSR history, talking about more of it, counterclaim defendants, Star Frontiers, on or about January 31st, 2020, counterclaim defendants posted on the last 2 social media accounts an image proprietary to the stack of printed Star Frontier books and promising all those who register for TSR Con on forthcoming March 2022 event will get a free hard copy of the game. Counterclaim defendants placed the same image on the Dungeon Hobby Shop product page. Star Frontier's new Genesis role-playing game rebooted. Wow. They lack the certain rights for Star Frontiers in a public interview. We can't come out of the old IP, and that's kind of limits us having to reboot the game in a new fashion. So they're trying to reboot the game with the same name, and you can't do it. Like, you can't do it without the express permission of the copyright holder. Anyway, when we get down here, you have the marks that are listing here. The TSR, which is alive. TSR, the game wizards, live and registered. Here's the registered number. TSR word and design. They've got 4 of them here that are dead. These 4 here, they canceled for some reason. I don't know the idea. And then it's 2 from Star Frontiers that are also there, are both live, and it's just causing more confusion. On or about the 19th, 2020, assigned the rights to the Game Wizards logo. Yeah, getting into more of the technical details. First clause of action, false designation of origin in violation of the LATAM Act. So here they're getting into where they're making the false infringements. Second clause, cyber squatting in violation of the LATAM Act. So this is talking about, once again, the where they're using them. And the third cause of action, the major one, common law, trademark infringement, and unfair competition. And then you get into North Carolina, deceptive trade practices, and the 5th cause of action, violation of the Washington Consumer Act. Prayer of relief. Here we go. Wherefore, Wizards prays for judgment against counterclaim defendants as follows: that the court enter judgment in Wizards' favor on all claims brought by Wizards, that the court enters a order pursuant impounding all infringing products bearing Wizards mark and that otherwise infringe Wizards intellectual property and any related material, including business records in counterclaim defendants' possession and under their control, that the court enter a order requiring any domain name registries, registrants, and website holding companies that hold, list, or host one or more domain names or websites that are associated with counterclaim defendants' infringements of Wizards property, inter alia, via infringing domain names that also include the name TSR, and 2 are owned, operated, and controlled by counterclaim defendant that are displayed 1 or more Wizards trademarks, infringing Wizards IP, or otherwise created false accusations with Wizards product. Take down infringing websites, disable any infringing domain names, and transfer the infringing domain names to Wizards ownership and control. That's a big one. Now they're saying, we're going to counterclaim. You're going to give us control of your infringing domains. Oh, man. And D, that the court enter a order requiring counterclaim defendants to provide Wizards a full and complete accounting of all amounts due and owing to Wizards. As a result, all the money they're demanding, all the money that they've made off of it goes to Wizards. The counterclaim defendants are required to pay all actual damages Wizards have sustained or will sustain as a consequence of counterclaim defendants' unlawful acts, together with statutory damages to the extent allowable, and such damages be enhanced, doubled, or tributed as allowed by law. Wow, they're asking for double, if not more. They're asking for the full extent there, from my understanding. That counterclaim defendants be required to pay the costs of this action and Wizards' reasonable attorney fees incurred in possession. They're asking for attorney fees. I would too, like, honestly. And then that the court enter an order requiring identified financial institutions restrain and transfer to Wizards all amounts arisen from counterclaim defendants' unlawful infringements as set forth in this lawsuit, up to the total amount necessary to satisfy monetary judgment in this case. Wizards of the Coast is going to own the Dungeons Hobby Shop. They're going to have a place in Lake Geneva that is now known as Wizards of the Coast, no longer known as TSR. And then the last one here, that the court grant Wizards such other further and additional relied to the court deems just and equitable. This was dated on March 4th, 2022. Wow, and here's Exhibit 8. This is the original bill of sale. This is actually really neat for me to see the original bill of sale from 1997. It was, what is this? March, April, May. May 30th, 1997. The stock purchase agreement that they own. This is the receiving party, Wizards of the Coast in Wisconsin, now owns TSR. This is the whole thing saying that they own everything. There's a fee of $3,000. It doesn't actually show the value of what they paid back in 97. That would be interesting if it did show on there as the bill of sale. This is the recordation for cover sheet trademark only. This is the trademarks. This right here says that they own all of them, and here's the registration numbers, all of these trademarks that they own. Stock purchase agreement, recitals. So there was 2,000 shares and 475 shares respectively, common stock of TSR, and it all went to Wizards in this purchase agreement. Purchase and sale, yeah, pretty much. And this is Peter D. Atkinson, CEO of Wizards of the Coast at the time. So yeah, this, and then Laurie Williams and Wildard Martins, I believe they were in full control. Wait, sorry. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast, the name shareholder, and then the shareholders selling their stock. So that ultimately what it was. And this is how they learned, how they became the owners of this. Ultimately, they took everyone that had an actual stock or stake still in TSR at the time and just purchased it outright. Just said, it's ours. Right? So yeah, they purchased the corporation, TSR Inc., TSR Hobbies Inc., which is Hobbies is another one that Justin LaNasa keeps continuing to try and claim. And this is a mess. This is a complete mess. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this one. I know I went through more detail than I really wanted to, but them's the case when you go through a court case. There's a lot to talk about. Thanks for watching. This is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. Have yourselves a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, do you think Wizards is going to own TSR? I think they will right now. We'll talk to you all next time.